Hi, it's James, and today we're at Cospace in Austin, Texas. And I'm talking with D. Gardner, DMG South. How you doing today, D?
Doing great.
Great. Why don't you tell me a little bit about what you do?
Well, the one thing that I like to tell people is I turn people into innovators.
Oh, very cool.
And so how I do that is I just set up an environment where people start to ask questions.
Yeah?
Start to ask, how can I do this better? How can I do this faster?
Okay. All right. And what kind of people do you usually work with?
I usually work with businesses that have hourly employees.
Yeah.
Because with the hourly employees, the motivation for the owner and the motivation for the employee are not the same.
Oh.
And so what I try to do is change that so the motivation for the employee and the owner are the same.
Oh, that's really good.
Now the owners know what they want. They know what
Sure.
they want, and so it's easy to know what their motivation is. And so it's a little bit more difficult to get that same motivation to the employees, but
Right.
it can be done, and I've been doing it for a long time.
Right. How long have you been doing this?
I've been doing it for about 20 years.
Wow. Okay.
So,
any success stories you'd like to share with us?
Yeah, I do. There's one story that really stands out to me is I was tasked with improving a process in an office in Philadelphia. My goal was to reduce the amount of process time that they were doing every day.
Okay.
So they were missing their deadline by 2 hours every day.
Wow.
And so I was to go there and figure out how to help them be more productive.
Okay.
So I worked with them for about a month, ran some contests to see how fast people could go. And then I came up with a system where they got paid by what they did versus the hourly that they'd been getting paid. And so at first there was a few people that didn't understand. They quit right away, which was really stressful to me because we weren't making the deadline at that point. Mm-hmm. But over a period of a couple of months, it really started to sink in, and we really hit the goal, because at the end of the 3 months, we were actually beating the deadline by 2 hours.
Wow. So a 4-hour swing.
So a 4-hour swing, and so if that was all that had been done, that would have been great.
Yeah.
So now there were some other things that happened that I didn't expect. One was on the third month. The first month before I put anything in place, there were 25 employees. Mm-hmm. At the end of the third month, there was only 12 employees.
Okay. And
that 12 employees had basically worked the third month and actually done 10% more work than the 25 employees the first month. And so that was amazing to me. I didn't expect that kind of productivity increase. Right. So the other thing that was good is because they were getting paid by what they did, the average wage went from $12 an hour. From $8 an hour to $12 an hour.
Wow.
And I had one superstar that was making $20 an hour.
Wow.
Yeah, and so the employees were a lot happier with their situation because they were making more money.
Right. And
because there were less employees, it also reduced the labor costs. The first month before anything was in place, it had cost us $32,000 to get the work done. In that third month, it had only cost us $16,000 to get 10% more work.
10% more. Yeah. Wow. That's quite impressive.
Yeah, so it was a win-win for the company, and I'd seen it on a smaller scale before, but that was a really good success. And the company had 15 other offices doing exactly the same thing.
Great.
So they rolled that out to the rest of the company, and helped them make a lot more money.
Do you have any idea how much you saved them?
I'm pretty sure it was over $1 million. Because I know what the volume was for so it was over $1 million extra profit that year.
Wow, that's significant.
And they continue to this day. That was that's been close to 8 or 9 years ago. So they've made a lot of money off of that system that I put in place.
And you're here in Austin, and you're looking for customers in Austin, Texas.
I am looking for customers here in Austin, Texas, or anywhere in the country. I'm actually talking with people in Seattle.
How can people get a hold of you?
The best thing is to go to my website, dmgsouth.com, or you can reach out to me on Twitter. I'm dmgsouth on Twitter. All
right, great. Well, thanks for talking with me today.
Thanks, James.
Yeah. And once again, this is James, and thanks to D. Gardner for helping me out with this thing. It's the second time I called him that. Thanks to Cospace for letting us hang out here and do this interview. And you can reach out to him on Twitter at DMG South, and I'm Laughlin James. See you next time.